Welcome back to Heaven's Signal. If you guys are new to the channel, my name is Ishmael, and don't mind giving me a like, don't mind subscribing and sharing this word to everybody that you think that needs this word, or everybody you know. We're just trying to spread the gospel. We're trying to share Jesus across the globe. So without further ado, let's get started.
I am the way, the truth, and the life. I am the Alpha and the Omega.
As Christians, we're not called to be like everybody else. We're not called to be like the world. We're not called to fit into this world. A lot of us try to fit in. A lot of us, especially with kids, they try to fit in with their friends, with their friend groups, and they're starting to be like those around them. They try to get affirmation from them because they want to be part of the world. They want to be part of them. They don't want to be looked at different or as uncool. That's how it is in everyday life. Everybody wants to be like society. Everybody wants to be like everybody else. We have celebrities. People look up to them. People worship them. People idolize them like they are the definition of how to be a person. So people try to dress like them, act like them. We're living in a world that even the kids channels, they're being shoved this worldly way into their faces in many different ways. The kids, it's starting with the kids. The kids are being the ones that are learning the most of it because it's being shoved on their cartoons and on what they're watching on TV. Even today in the world with these churches, the churches are even getting to the point that they're conforming to the world, and they're trying to be based on being liked by the world, being looked at, and not being different from the world. They're trying to fit into society. If you look at these mega churches, that's what they're worrying about. They're afraid to preach a certain thing. They're afraid to speak of a certain topic that could get them canceled, that could get them closed down, that could get them not even looked at. It'll get people to run away from their church because that topic might offend, that topic might hurt, because the church is afraid to either lose people, hurt people, or be looked at different. And there's a lot of Christians that are like this. It's not only churches, it's the people themselves are also like this. They are ashamed to speak about Jesus, to speak about God in front of their friends, in front of their circle. They're afraid to bring up God to those who don't believe in God because they might be looked at differently, and they don't want to be looked at different. They don't want to be out of the crowd. They want to be in the crowd. They want to fit in. They don't want to lose their credibility with these people, their recognition. They don't want to be pushed away because they know Jesus. They speak of Jesus. They're ashamed of him because they will lose people. They'll lose how people look at them differently now. As men and women of God, we need to wake up. If we look at the book of Romans chapter 12, verses 2, it says, "Don't copy the behavior and customs of this world, but let God transform you into a new person by changing the way you think. Then you will learn to know God's will for you, which is good and pleasing and perfect." See, we need to realize that we're not like everybody else. And I think that's perfect, because we are transformed through God. When we change our minds, when we come to God and we don't copy the behavior of this world, we become transformed by God. Become transformed through God, and we become the light in this world. We begin to light those around us up. First, let's look at the book of Romans chapter 1, verses 16. "For I am not ashamed of this good news about Christ. It is the power of God at work, saving everyone else who believes, the Jew first and also the Gentile." We as Christians, we are living in a dark world. We need to let our light shine from the heavens. We need to be this difference. We got to let God do his work. How can he do his work if we're ashamed? If we're too ashamed to share because we're going to be looked at differently. We have to realize that we are different. We have to be lit up in the Holy Spirit. We have to be lit up in God, because once we are lit up in God, imagine being in a world that's dark, there's everybody around you has no light in them, but you're the one that's full of light. You have the ability to share that light. You have the ability to light this world up by sharing the gospel, sharing who God is. And then they will be transformed as well through God. They'll be out of their sin. They'll be out of these ways that they think it's a right living, but they'll conform into God instead of the world conforming us. We need to stop being afraid to be looked at different. Maybe that person that you are near needs God, but you're too ashamed because you will be looked at differently in your mind. You let the enemy put it in your mind like you're not gonna fit in. You're not gonna fit in. Don't even. It's not worth it. But it is worth it, because that person needs prayer no matter what. You need to plant that seed. You need to light up that fire, that light inside of them. Let it spark inside of them, because once God transforms their mind, they will be lit up. And one by one, everybody will be lit up. Be the light in the darkness. Be the difference in your group, in your little circles that you have. Don't be afraid to look different. Don't be afraid to be the one that they call the Jesus freak, the one that's in love with Jesus. Oh, he's going to talk about, she's going to talk about God. Don't be afraid of that. You got to show that you love God, that you are the light, that you are the difference, because we're not called to be like this world. We're not called to conform into this world. We're not called for that. We are the difference. We are the light. Don't forget that. Don't forget that you're the light. When you see somebody who needs the prayer, who's depressed, who's looking down, don't be afraid to go to them and speak to them of God and pray over them. Pray for that depression to leave. Light their lives and light their soul up so they can know who God is. Be the light of the world. Be the difference. We're living in a dark world right now where sin is becoming something of the normal. That sin is becoming the right thing to this world. Remind people God is real and be lit up for God. Don't let your light go dark. Be the difference. Say no to the enemy when he puts that doubt and that shame in your head. Say no. Be different. Be the light. Without further ado, thank you guys for tuning in today. It was probably a little shorter, but thank you for tuning in. If you liked it, like and share. Share to those who you think you need it. And subscribe to this channel. Hit the notification button as well, so you can be notified every time we post a video. Thank you.
I am the way, the truth, and the life. I am the Alpha and the Omega.